Alright guys, I'm back out working on this tank again today. I'm just kind of going through, every time I put another layer of bondo on, I sand it smooth, and then I go back and find my mistakes. As my little circles I draw get smaller, I can start using my other putty, because I just used the normal bondo on this, and I tried to, see here, I tried to do a couple different shades each time I went on the layer. That way I could see my progress and where my error was, before. So you can kind of see the depth there and the difference in the shades here and the layers of bondo I put on. Down here I've got a little bit bigger of a circle, but as I go along and my circles get smaller for the little spots I'm doing, just these small ones, I move up to just a spot putty instead of the full-on bondo, and this is a lot better for small scratches, spots. It's just a lot easier to work with than mixing up all the bondo. So just know as you go along and you're marking this on your tank, it'll get smaller. You can see here one of my older marks. See how it's faded underneath there, and that's because I drew that mark and then put bondo over it. Now you can see it's completely smooth, and you can just barely see that mark, so you can see the high and the low points there. So it's a really good way of doing it. It'll keep you on track and you won't get discouraged. And you can see another one of my marks underneath the bondo there, but that's all smooth now. So just all kinds of them, like especially these, when you got was a bigger dent there, and you want to make sure you do layers on that. That way you can kind of see where you missed last time, because a lot of times you'll put bondo on and you'll forget, was it a dent or was it pitting? And if it was a dent, you're going to want to leave some circlage like this. If it was pitting, you're going to want to not do it as much. See how the pitting here is filled here, and then the dent's got the bondo. So on this side, you can see the pitting here, it's just filled, so there's no bondo circle. So that's the difference you want to make sure you do. So pitting here and here, there's no big circle of bondo left, so that way you're going to know where you're at on it. These are all dents, so they require more bondo to smooth it instead of just leaving it in the pitting. So, and then up front, of course, on most tanks you're going to have dents from the handlebars, so those are some that you're going to want to make sure you get smooth. So that's a good way of doing it. That way you keep on track, and you're not leaving bondo, a mound of bondo, where you think it's smooth when it was really just pitting. So that should kind of help you go along there. But anyway, so I'm working on the tank today. Going to get that sanded. Going to just finish it with my spot putty here, and then it's going to be ready for paint. Let's see. I have my fiberglass seat over here. I went ahead and put some more fiberglass on it. Strengthened it up yesterday. So this just has the normal layers, but I wanted to make sure this tail section and where it connects was very strong. And I went ahead and put fiberglass on the bottom. So I just thought it's all got to be sanded off now and cut off. And I usually use the grinder for a lot of this. I'll use the chop saw at first and cut off this, and then after that I'll use the grinder on these edges, and then from there I'll just move to the 80 grit sandpaper on my little Black & Decker mouse. Really, the bottom though, I'm not going to sand it. I'll get it to just a rough finish, This top's not going to be too big a deal sanding. I mean, I'll go a little bit further in this and get it smooth, of course. That way the paint will lay good on it. And that's going to be the most sanding there, the back part. So as far as the bike, it's pretty well together as far as I'm going to do it now, until maybe this winter when I take it back apart and paint it. The only other things I really might paint before winter are the brake calipers, because they're all gold. There's 3 of them on here, 2 on the front, 1 on the back, and they're all 3 gold. And then of course I'm just going to take the headlight brackets off and paint them with the headlight when I do that. Other than that, I'm really not going to be doing anything else to the bike until I take it all apart. So, but I got the headlight all cleaned up. It's just going to have to get roughed up and sanded smooth, because there's a lot of rust underneath that. You can see it on this side. So I got quite a bit of work left, but that's where it's at. Then after that, I'll probably just build my mounting brackets and mount the seat on there, and we should be good to go. I don't quite know how I'm going to do the upholstery yet. I thought about making a seat to sit on here, but I really don't know how I'm going to attach it. I know how I'm going to attach this part, but not the fabric seat on top, so that's something I'm going to have to figure out. If nothing else, I'm going to just wrap this with the seat, you know, wrap the pad around it, and then figure out a way to connect the whole piece at once. It's not going to be as easy as just connecting this and putting a seat on top, because I would have used just 4 bolts. That's a couple ways of doing it, so we'll just have to figure it out as we go along. That's really the best way to do it with these bikes. You don't want to set nothing in stone until you're getting to that point, and then you can kind of figure out what you need to do. So I really want to order some new handlebars and cut those risers off, but that'll be something I do within the next couple weeks. And I really wanted to order that front fairing, but I might and I might not, because the one that I want for the bike requires a lot of sanding and cutting to get it right, because when you get it, it's just completely ugly, and if you try to lay paint on it, it's even worse. But the paint that they lay on, it's completely wavy. So that's where I'm at the moment. So continue watching, and hopefully we'll get a whole lot more done on this within the next couple days. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, thought I'd add on to the video that I just recorded. I know I probably was going to stop it there, but I'm going to show you the progress I made tonight. So once I got done with the last video, I went ahead and put some paint on here. I just did a really light coat of primer, because you want your very first coat of primer to be very, very light, and you want to let it dry fully. That way your first coat's always the main coat, you know. So once I got that first coat on, that's when you really notice your imperfections. Really, I didn't have anything on the side, just these couple up here on the top where I'd primered. They had a couple pinholes in them, so I went ahead and just used spot putty and filled those. Then I just sanded that spot again, starting with my 80, then went all the way to my 2000 right there. And then from there, I just went ahead and put coats of primer on it. So this has probably had well, it had the first partial coat, the light coat, then it had another coat, probably 3 coats, maybe 4. I forget if I put a 4th on it. It started to cool off, so I wanted to stop painting pretty quick. You can still see a little bit of my primer or my bondo through it, but for the most part, it's going to be once the paint's on there, I really don't think you're going to notice it. So that's that. I'm going to go ahead and wait till tomorrow, to where when it gets around 70 degrees or so outside, I'm going to paint it and go from there. On my cafe seat I was making, I've also got the bondo on it, and it's been sanded now. I've got to go ahead and add, you know, more in a few places. I don't know if I'm going to use the spot putty. I'll probably wait till the very last thing to use spot putty, because these pieces are still a little bit big. Got a little bit there I need to take care of. A few spots here, and then this low spot right around here, and a couple here and there. So other than that, it's going to be going along pretty quick. Then I really want to take the putty down this side here and really smooth this edge out, because it's just lost a little bit of its integrity down here with me bonding this. And you can see right here that I need to use some filler. The bottom I'm not even going to do anything else with, I don't think. I might sand it a little bit more, but other than that, I think it's all done. But this is absolutely rock solid. So I mean, this back here has had more than this. So I did double back here on this part, and then right here where it joins. This part's had four, maybe 5 sheets of resin or fiber and resin on top, and then 3 on the bottom for the bottom part. So it's absolutely very strong. And then of course the foam's still inside here, so that kind of makes it pretty light too. It's not super heavy, but it's very strong. As you know, fiberglass is very strong. So before I get done tonight, I'm going to go ahead and mix up a little bit more bondo and fill these places in, then I'll save the sanding for tomorrow. So other than that, I did switch my shocks over today. I put these better shocks off my parts bike. These are really nice Showa shocks. So now I've got new suspension in the back and new suspension in the front, because I really think those are progressive springs. My friend seems to think so, and so do I. They feel pretty good compared to the old ones. And so they're really nice springs in there. So back here, I'm really needing to get the part to strengthen this up, which is just a piece of bent metal. So what I want to do is, of course, spring the metal so it kind of comes back here and go from there. So I think it should be pretty good. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with the tail light yet. The one that I had on it is still mounted to the old fender, and it's kind of buried there, but it's a small one. I may do something completely different, get a different one or something, or figure out how to mount that. I was going to make some resin and make a bracket here, but I just don't want that tire to hit it. I really doubt it would. I mean, it's not, it would only come down like this, so, but we'll see what I do. Other than that, I'm really going to have to figure out the mounting. I know how I'm going to mount it, the seat. I think I might have the seat made and maybe Velcro it on here, because if I put a nice strip of Velcro there and there, it's not going to come off. I mean, and my other option was to just attach the whole seat and everything to this, you know. And so I haven't quite decided on that yet. So other than that, I've got to work on my front fender, and you can see I've got all these extras here, and I've got one on my other bike over there too. That's a chrome one. So I've got a few to choose from of what I want to start with, but I think I'm going to take, this is a Mayer fender, I was told, this year. So what I want to do is cut this part here completely out and make it round, like just cut it off there, and then cover over it with some resin and fiberglass, and then I'm going to use this fender to make a mold, because this one's broke and I don't want to just fix it with resin and fiberglass because it wouldn't look good. But I could use it for a mold and make a nice looking fender. So I think that would be better than painting one of these heavy metal ones and that kind of thing. And then I'd get some more experience with making things out of fiberglass. So that's where I'm at. I'll kind of give you a shot of the fender and the tank on the bike here. Let me just pause this for a second. Right there is about where everything's going to be. I mean, it's not dead on, but it's pretty close. So you can kind of see what the profile is going to be like. Right there. Besides the seat being on there, that's about what it's going to look like, and it's going to have some side plates right here that I've got already made up. I don't know 100% that I'm going to use them. I know they need repainted, so I may use those, but that's pretty much the profile. I think it looks really good for first time ever making a cafe seat. First time ever bondoing a tank, standing it down, that kind of thing. I've never really done much of that, but that's what it looks like. I'll give you a shot from the back too. So there you go. I think it's going to look pretty good. So a little more bondo and on the seat and paint. Still got all my other bikes. This one runs. It's my main rider. This one runs. It has a leak in the radiator at the moment. It needs soldered up. And this one runs. It really needs some rings put in it, but it does run very well. So, and this one here, probably just it's of course the parts bike, but it's blowing a little bit of oil out the exhaust, so we think it's going to need rings too, so that's why I didn't use this frame and motor over this frame. So this engine runs really good, and it starts right up. The carbs are already jetted properly. It's all set up. Still running the stock airbox. I do have cones for it, but I don't want to put them on there and it run really crappy, because that's what pretty much everybody's told me it's going to do. And so I'll probably later on either get the Dyna jet kit and put that on, or have a shop do it. Probably have a shop do it most likely, but we'll see when we get there. For now, we're just gonna keep it like it is and make it a cafe racer. So thanks for watching.